If we haven't met before, my name is Karen Stone, and I have been studying and practicing Tibetan medicine and the spiritual practices aligned with that with Dr. Nida since 2005. If you have any questions, I'll get you to leave them till the end if you don't mind, unless it's absolutely imperative. I don't have a co-host or moderator, so it's just easier if we do those things at the end. The recording will be sent, the link will be sent out to you in the next day or two, and then it will also go up on the YouTube channel so you can go and watch it there as well. So for anyone who's new to the practice, sorry for the others of you who've heard it lots of times before, this is part of the Yuthok Nyingthig, the spiritual practice aligned with Tibetan medicine, and this is a gift from who we call the father of Tibetan medicine, Yuthok Yonsen, and he was also a walking emanation of the medicine Buddha and Guru Rinpoche, Padmasambhava. And this practice combines the medical and the spiritual elements, which makes it very unique, and I think really is what adds to its incredible benefit. And so I always like at this point to just take a moment because I think it's really good to, at the end we always dedicate our practice, but I like to start with an intention as well, and to start with gratitude. And for me, I always have immense gratitude that I have connected with these teachings and these practices. And so let's take that moment and connect into that and form our intention out of that to whatever it is that you're seeking tonight for yourself, or you can always include other ones. I'll come back to that in a minute, other people in the practice, but also trust in the karma that connected you with it, yeah? So as we work through this practice tonight, we are working with the energy of the Dakinis. Each Dakini has her own power and her own quality and her activity. And I really ask you to have faith that they're out there working for you. They're on your team. And along with all the things that we will list to get them to call back for you, have faith that they can also call back your confidence, your courage, your equanimity, your self-worth, your peace of mind, whatever it is you feel that life has chipped away or that you've left behind you on a train seat somewhere, or, causes and conditions beyond your control. All the things that modern life and current times on our planet steal away through fear and anxiety, stress, anger, and in return we'll get the increase in energy and life force and lifespan and good health and good mind and joy. And in these times, joy is an act of resistance. We have to really work hard to keep that. So as we go through the practice, you're going to hear me read the words sponsor or patron at the end of each section. Now that's where you will insert your own name but you can do both. There are no limitations on prayer. The Buddhists have unlimited power to help us. So you can also include anyone or any number of people that you feel might benefit from this practice as well. So you might go, Karen, I'll say myself, Karen, and whoever that I'm currently holding in my heart, who I'm worried about or feel could do with one of my teachers is unwell at the moment, so I'll be including him in the practice tonight. But there's not a reason, there's no single reason that we can't also imagine this energy being sent out to every sentient being on the planet. Let's think big here, because we'll know that energy is infinite and the compassion of the Buddhas is infinite. So let's set that intention to, heal ourselves, but also anyone else and everyone else that you can think of. Let's make the most of this practice opportunity. So before we get going, there's just a couple of little things and a bit of information I'll give you now, because at the end everyone's a bit zonked out and they don't receive it. In the course of the practice, I'm going to ask you to move around and face various directions. If you have a mobile phone, a smartphone, you'll have a compass on there, but I'll just get you to take a minute now and, acquaint yourself with the direction that you're facing in, if you don't already know, because as we go through the practice, you will physically need to turn If you can't turn, that's perfectly okay as well. Just visualize that you're facing in that direction, or, send your energy in that direction. The effects from this practice can last for a few days. Sometimes the energy returns to us over a few days. That's very possible. So don't be surprised if you feel a gradual build. You may have some excellent dreams as well. So look forward to those. You can continue to protect your La energy in a couple of ways. One way is to wear or carry a piece of turquoise. Turquoise is very, very good for protecting our La energy. And the other is the use of some red string. Now, you can use any sort of red cotton or string that you buy from a craft shop. Crochet cotton is good. And what you will do for this, I'll just take that one off, is tie it around your ring fingers on both hands and on the equivalent toes. This is especially good if you find you're having bad dreams, which a lot of people are at the moment. So that's another way of protecting the light energy, because this particular digit on the hand and on the feet is one of the places where the energy leaves the body. Now, we're doing this one tonight on the new moon, and I'll explain a little bit more in a moment on why we work with the moon. It works best on the nights of the new moon and the dark moon. However, you can do this whenever you feel the need. You can tap in and restore your energy through this practice whenever you feel the need. And these sessions are all up on the YouTube channel. So if you find that this is helping you, feel free and go and do it at another time. Just watch the videos and do the practice. It's best on this night and on the full moon, but that doesn't mean there won't be any benefit if you do it from other evenings as well, or afternoons or whenever. So it's always going to be helpful and beneficial. So I think that's it for the practical stuff. What we're going to do now is just take a few deep breaths, and oh no, I did leave something out, sorry. I knew I would. Before we got started tonight, I thought we'd talk a little bit about the arrow, the datta, which we use in this process. I'll pull back a bit because I've kind of neglected to talk about that at great length in the past ones. So its purpose in the ceremony, when I wave it around, is to support the gathering and the restoration of the vitality of the energy. The shaft represents steadiness and uprightness and directed awareness. It's straight, so it's stable and continuous. And in subtle body symbolism, it's connected with the central channel through which our vitality and awareness is situated. Attached to the arrow, we have the 5 coloured ribbons representing the 5 elements: space, air, fire, water, and earth. As they move through the air, as I wave them, they symbolically extend into the 10 directions, reconnecting the dispersed energy that has gone out from you into the elemental world. There is a small mirror, a milong, attached to the arrow. In Tibetan symbolism, the mirror represents clarity and unobstructed awareness, and it's also understood to repel obstacles and disturbances, reflecting back those things that would interrupt your vitality. Other ornaments are there: bells, shells, jewels. Depends on who's made it and where you've got it from. These represent various things like protection and prosperity, continuity of life, and the strengthening of beneficial conditions. So the movements of the datta are part of the process of the life force retrieval. It gets extended forward to call the energies back. Circular and sweeping movements are used to sweep them back, and sometimes there's an up and down movement, which is hooking back. Raising it upwards is a positive sign, restoring the vitality, the strength, and the good fortune. So if you have one yourself, the recommended way to store it when you're not waving it around is in a container with some rice. So we're not in use, this just sits on my altar in this little bottle. It's not essential to have one, but it is nice, and they're quite easy to buy online. Yeah. This one came from Maritika in Nepal. So yeah, I think that's it for the practical stuff for now. We will get going on the practice. Now, just before we start, let's do a couple of deep breaths and settle ourselves. Just releasing anything that's hanging on. That's right, Bella. Yes, that the same equivalent toe on the foot next to the little toe. Yep. So a few deep breaths. Try and breathe past your throat. We all breathe very shallowly and into our throat. If it's the end of the day for you, you can release all the things that have built up during the day. If it's in the morning, you can just release any heaviness hanging over from a night's sleep. And breathe out any anxieties you might have for the day that's coming. Okay, let's get going. So firstly, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land from which I greet you today, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and I honour their living connection to the land and waters of this country, and to pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging, and I offer the same respect to any elder who may be present with us this evening. And we acknowledge with deep gratitude our lineage masters for this teaching. My teacher, Dr. Nida Chanatsang, and his teacher, the late Kimpo Truratsenam, both great lineage holders of the Yuthok Nyingthig. So we'll talk just briefly about La and this whole process of how and why we lose it and how we hook it back. So in early Tibetan cosmology, the human being is seen as a node in a web of elemental forces. The body is made of the same five elements as the outer world: space, wind, fire, water, and earth. And because of this, the earth life force is not completely sealed in the body. We are permeable. It is partly distributed through the environment. So when strong disturbances occur, the life force can scatter back out into the elemental field. So traditional reasons for this include shock or fear, grief or emotional trauma, sudden accidents, severe illness, childbirth, invasive treatments, and spirit disturbance or spirit provocation. Tibetan medicine also says even a sudden fright can cause the La to jump out of the body. So that's a very good reason not to watch horror movies, in my opinion. So why does it scatter into the 10 directions? This also comes from the cosmology. The universe is structured spatially as the 10 directions. We have east, south, north, and west, southeast, southwest, northwest, northeast, above and below. And these directions correspond to elemental fields and spiritual presences, which we will experience as we move into the practice, because each of the dakinis has a particular direction. So when La vanishes or disperses, it doesn't vanish, it just moves into the surrounding elemental space. We cannot destroy energy, it moves around. So think of it like fragments of vitality drifting outward into the environment, and that's why the ritual retrieves it back from the 10 directions. So it is the pure energy of the five elements, the building blocks. We consist of the five elements. The universe we exist in consists of the five elements. And it's an important energy. It's the triad of protective energy, vital energy, and the energy that regulates the duration of life. It has a cyclical movement during the body with specific points active according to the day of the lunar calendar. So this particular cycle of energy is related to the lunar cycle. And you can see on this figure here, if you look at facing, we've got number 1 down on the toe here, which if we were doing a La massage today, working on these points, that's where we would start, because today is the new moon. Now that is on the left because this is a male figure, and the female we start on the right because the energy moves in a different direction. So for each day of this 30-day cycle, I'm pointing at the screen and you can't see, the La is in a different place. Coming up here to the crown on the full moon and then moving back down the other side. So it's something to be a little bit aware of, because if you were having, say, a procedure, an invasive procedure, or even a small surgery or something, let's just say on your knee, for example, you would try to have it not done on that day or the day before or the day after. You know, if you worked out that you were having a knee surgery, then you would try and have it on any of the other days rather than when the La energy was in that spot. And it's just a continual repeating cycle. So the dakinis, why do the dakinis bring it back? This comes from the tantric aspect of the practice, and they represent the 5 elemental activities of awakened energy. They restore harmony by gathering our scattered life force. And the 4 outer dakinis is the 4 enlightened activities. So we have pacifying, increasing, magnetizing, controlling, and destroying obstacles. So the central dakini space, she integrates everything. So often we find that we talk of the 4 elements. The 5th element space is implied because it's essential. It's the crucible where all the other things occur. And so in this ritual, they are the ones that go out into 10 directions and bring back our energy. So signs that someone has lost their La are feelings of sadness, being tired all the time, anxiety, a greyish complexion, confusion, mental nervousness, waking often suddenly from sleep for no reason, you know, when you have that jerking awake feeling, and decreased sexual activity. Any loss of La energy can also put someone's lifespan in danger, as our vital and life energies are affected as well. So it's something that is treated very seriously in Tibetan medicine, particularly as modern life is so stressful. I'm sure if we went back historically, there's no time on this planet where life hasn't been stressful, but there does seem to be a lot more for people to deal with in our current version of it. So this is the practice for hooking back the life force, and it's part of the Yuthok Nyingthig long life empowerment that vanquishes the Lord of Death. It is a unique practice, calling back the wandering La, the life force, the Tse, the lifespan, and Tsok, the vital force. And as I said before, it can be performed for self or others, and there's no reason why it can't be both. So we're utilizing the Data, the long life arrow with the 5 colored ribbons, representing 5 elements, and also we will be working with the energies of long life Hayagriva and Vajrahari in union, and then calling on the dakinis and their special activities in the 10 directions. And then the result is restored physical and energetic health and vitality, prolonged lifespan, and increased happiness and clarity in the mind. So have faith in the process. I've been working with this for a very long time. The La massage, where people come and it's a particular treatment where you get a massage on each of the 30 points. Been doing that for more than 20 years, and the results are always amazing. And then also this one now as well, where we have the great opportunity of being able to do it with each other, even though we're not present in the same space. So to begin with, we will start with a couple of prayers before we move into the practice. Because this practice comes in under the auspices of the Yuthok Nyingthig, when we take refuge here, we're taking refuge in Yuthok. It is said that when we pray to Yuthok, we're praying to all the Buddhas, which is very efficient. So we have faith in Yuthok, providing refuge for us, not just tonight as we do this practice, but always, always. So we say this twice in Tibetan and then once in English. Namo. Rigtu deshik doji chang chuktu konchok sumjino, dakshin jangchok matopa, ningne niwa chupsuchi. Rigtu deshik doji chang chuktu konchok sumjino, dakshin jangchok matopa, ningne niwa chupsuchi. Homage. You are the union of all Sagatas and Vajradhara, essence of the three jewels in the 10 directions and 3 times. Until I and all others achieve enlightenment, from my inner heart I take refuge in you. Bodhicitta prayer. Sanji chulang sukchi chunamla, jangjuk baru dagni chapsuchi, dadi jin sokji pesunam ki drola penchi sanji dukpasho. Sanji chulang sukchi chunamla, jangjuk baru dagni chapsuchi, dadi jin sokji pesunam ki drola penchi sanji dukpasho. Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, until enlightenment, I take refuge in you. Through my merit of generosity and so on, may I attain Buddhahood for the good of all sentient beings. Now, for this first part, we will be working with Hayagriva and Vajrahari. That's one word I can't say. And for this part, we are restoring the lifespan and the life force. So if you have had the appropriate initiations, you can visualize yourself as the deity. If you haven't, that's perfectly fine. You can simply look at the image and engage with the image, or if you feel happy to or are able to, you can visualize them in front of you, on top of your head. None of these things are wrong, so do what is comfortable for you. And this is the syllable that is woven in and throughout this part of the practice, the syllable ni, and this is empowering their activities to restore your life span and your life force. So these are the ones who are giving us back the lifespan that we should be having. According to Tibetan medicine, in this time on earth, we should all be living to 120. So we've got a bit of work to do. So while you're looking at this image of the deities and consort, I'm going to recite the mantra. You don't have to do that. You get to relax for this bit. And then we will do the short ceremony that starts calling back through their great blessings, your lifespan and your life force. So I'm just concentrate on the image or visualize yourself as the deities, whichever you're choosing to do while I recite the mantra. Om Ahum Banza Mahakuru Savakuna Siddhi Hum Om Ahum Savamun Mam Pam Tam Mahalin Sita Shing Shing Sava Siddhi Samayaza Hum Bam Hum Benza Ayuhi Hum Nasi Om Ahum Benza Mahakuru Siddhi Hum Om Ahum Savamun Mam Pam Tam Mahalin Sita Shing Shing Sava Siddhi Samayaza Sum Bam Shing Om Ahum Benza Mahakuru Sava Siddhi Om Ahum Savamun Maharani Titi Shing 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 Kama City Panzaya Wenza Mahakuma Sauce Ama Husam Mahalina Titi Shing Shing Sama City Samaya Tahum Home Benza Yishi Tita Ahom Wenza Mahakuma Sauce Mahalani Tita Shing Shing Sama City Maya Tahum Benza Mahakuru Sama Kuna City Sama Shing Shing Samati Samayata Hum Benza Ayushi Hum Benza Mahakuru Sama City Shing Shing Samati Hum Benza Mahakuru Sama City Hum Sama Shing Shing Samati Samayata Hum Okay. Now, I'm going to read this one in English. When we get to the dakinis, we'll do both. But for today, we're going to do so. We start off with the lifespan, and remembering at the end of each section, you'll hear me say sponsor or patron, and that's when you say your own name and or the names of other people that you were thinking of for the practice. So keeping on with your visualization or your manifestation of the deity, having imagined that from the hearts of the assembly of deities, supreme emanated messengers of indefinite color, ornamented in silks and jewels, holding lifespan, hooking hooks, longevity vases, and arrows tied with silk ribbons, pervade everywhere in every cardinal and intercardinal direction, above and below immediately. Having perceived that the collected lifespans of the 3,000-fold world system, without exception, on the three realms and the three levels of existence, of the threefold worldly gods, demons, and humans, and especially one's own life force and lifespan wandering about, have all been hooked back by the means of the syllable Ni. Imagine that they dissolve back into you and that you obtain the city of deathlessness. Take a moment to feel that returning to your heart. All of our major energy is situated in the heart. That was your lifespan, returning to the length of life. Now we recall the life force, again visualizing the deities. Duhung, which is the condensed glory of the supreme speech of the conqueror Buddhas of the three times, the principal magnetizing activities of Father Hayagriva and Mother Vajrahari in ecstatic union, the emanations, secondary emanations, and their retinues having come forth at this time, perform the activities of hooking back the life force and the lifespan from the sky above and the earth underneath. Crush into dust the demonic emissaries of the Lord of Death. Chop into pieces the heads of the gods and demons who cut the vital force. Cut the red life channels of the executioner spirits who take away the breath. Hook back now the wandering life force and lifespan of the sponsor. And just take a moment and feel that returning to you. With great faith and gratitude to the deities for performing this for us. And now we go and call on the dakinis with their activities, pacifying all obstacles, increasing energy and life force, controlling negativities, destroying the negative forces and obstacles. And as again, we're hooking back the La from the 10 directions, the sky above, the earth below, the 4 cardinal points, and the 4 intercardinal points. The result of restored and rejuvenated physical energy, health, and vitality. We've already prolonged the lifespan, increased mental happiness and clarity. In the 5th key space, she's in the center and she brings back the La from above and below, but we don't work with her directly. So here is our first beautiful dakini. Those of you who've been coming for a while will see that we have new dakinis now. But it was time for a change. So now you need to be facing east, southeast. So get yourselves into position if you're able to move. Have a look at her if you're not going to be able to see the image before you turn. Our beautiful white dakini. Her energy is water and her activity is pacifying. And she pacifies all the obstacles that arise around you, stealing your La. She calls back all lost La, even lost from the past. And you will visualize this energy returning to your heart, your head, or just filling your whole body. So I'm going to read it through in Tibetan and then English. Doji Kandro Jakyu Bunzin, Ziwile Tse Tru, Payang Shu, Jeko Jituk, Danjil Je Du Lambap. Sha Dang Sha Lu Chuk Netse Kuchik, Chidak Duki Punya Dul Dulok. Tuk Chu Laje Go Zilbako, Uklin She Me, Sukta Mapacho, Yondak Latse Kyampo Data Kuk. O Vajradakini, who holds the iron hook and the dark blue vase. Having come forth at this time, along with your emanations, secondary emanations, and all their retinues who conduct pacifying actions, fulfill your pledges. Book back the lifespan from the eastern and southeastern directions. Crush into dust the demonic emissaries of the lords of death. Chop into pieces the heads of the worldly gods and demons who cut the vital force. Cut the red life channels of the executioner spirits who take away the breath. Book back now the wandering life force and lifespan of the sponsor. Now we're just going to sit for a few minutes with her energy and her power, restoring your La, pacifying all of the obstacles and energies and entities that are stealing your La. Okay, now you're on the move again, and you're going to be facing south, southwest, and we're going to be working with our beautiful jewel Dakini. Give you a second to relocate yourself. Have a quick look at her if you can't see the image before you move. She is golden or yellow, and her energy is earth, and her activity is increasing. She's increasing energy, life force, wisdom, all returning to you in the form of golden light, coming from nature, from plants, trees, rocks, spirits, even from beyond the earth, from the stars. See yourself surrounded by gold dakinis as they hook back your La, your happiness and your joy, your energy. Everything that is positive and abundant and wonderful and joyful and highly energetic, all of these good emotions and feelings and energies are returning to you in this beautiful golden light, washing all over your body. Lenshin Kando Chakyu Sebunzin, Yepele te trul payang shul che ko che tuk dam sil ze du labap. Lodang no no chuk ne te kuchik. Chidak duki punya dun du lok. Sukchu la je go silva ko. Uklen sheme tuksa ma pa cho. Nuk dang nuk jang chuk ne te kuchik. Chidak duki punya dun du lok. Sukchu la je go silva ko. Uklen shema tuksa ma ko. And I'm on the wrong page, sorry. Until, yes. Yondak Latse Kyampo Da Takuk. A jewel Dakini who holds the iron hook and golden vase. Having come forth at this time, along with your emanations, secondary emanations, and all their retinues who conduct increasing actions, fulfill your pledges. Look back the lifespan from the south and southwestern directions. Crush into dust the demonic emissaries of the Lord of Death. Chop into pieces the heads of the worldly gods and demons who cut the vital life force. Cut the red life channels of the executioner spirits who take away the breath, and hook back now the wandering life force and lifespan of the sponsor. And now we sit for a few minutes with this beautiful gold energy returning to you. Okay. Now we're moving again. And now you're going to be facing west, northwest. Again, if you're not be able to see the image, have a look at her now, our beautiful red lotus dakini. Obviously, her element, her energy is fire. And her activity is controlling, especially negative energy. And so she's hooking back energy, lifespan, joy, fortune, control of your life from the mountains, the plants, the water, and beyond, from the sun, the moon, the stars. She brings back celestial energy. La lost when you were in the womb, from your birth, from your early childhood, and all the stages of your life where you have lost La. It returns now to all 5 chakras: head, heart, throat, navel, and base. So you may feel it coming in at the heart. You may be aware of it coming in at all of the 5 chakras, or you may just feel it coming all over at once. All of these things are perfectly right. Pema kanjo chakyu zangbutin, wanji letse chulpa yulchu cheko che tuktam, jelje du la bab, nuptang nupchang chuknit se chukchik, chitak duki punya dunduluk, sokchu ladri gowut silpako, yuklen shime tsukta mapochu, yondak latse kyampo data. A lotus dakini who holds the iron hook and the copper vase. Having come forth at this time, along with your emanations, secondary emanations, and all the retinues who conduct controlling actions, fulfill your pledges. Book back the lifespan from the western and northwestern directions. Crush into dust the demonic emissaries of the Lord of Death. Chop into pieces the heads of the worldly gods and demons who cut the vital life force. Cut the red life channels of the executioner spirits who take away the breath. Book back now the wandering life force and lifespan of this sponsor. Take a few moments to feel this energy returning. Okay, now moving one more time. Now we are facing north-northeast for our beautiful green or turquoise action dakini. And her element is wind. And her energy is that of destroying. She is the karma dakini and very powerful, even wrathful, as she destroys the negative energies that have stolen your precious life energies, your la energies, your lifespan energies. Everything can be restored to you through her power. La lost through trauma and terrible events, stolen happiness, fear, sorrow, all these past experiences, she can return the la that they took from you. I always think if you listen, you can hear the wind as she goes to work. They're constantly swirling around you right now, restoring all this very precious energy to you. Lekandra chak kuyu bunzin, drakpo le zetu payang tu, cheko chetuk damshel je du lapa. Jangdang jangsha shukne ze chukche. Chidak di ki punya dundulok, sukchu lade goet silpako. Clinchim outsokta mapacho, yondak latse kyampo da ta kukche tse kukche. Your action dakini who holds the iron hook and turquoise vase. Having come forth at this time along with your emanations, secondary emanations, and all their retinues who conduct wrathful actions, fulfill your pledges. Book back the lifespan from the north and northern eastern directions. Crush into dust the demonic emissaries of the Lord of Death. Chop into pieces the heads of the devas and demons who cut the vital force. Cut the red life channels of the executioner spirits who take away the breath. Book back now the wandering life force and lifespan of the sponsor. And sit for a few minutes while she does her incredible work. You feel this very powerful dakini restore this energy to you. Okay, you can come back to your original position now. Now, because we've summoned all these incredible Dakinis, I always think this is a good opportunity to recite a mala of the Dakini mantra, yeah? Because they're all present, all the energies are with us. And so we'll say a full mala of this 5 Dakini mantra. Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa. If you haven't got a mala, it's okay. Just count along with me. Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa. Bam Hari Nisa, 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 Bam Hari Nisa. Bam Hari Nisa, 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 Bam Hari Nisa. Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa. Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa. Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa. Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa. Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa. Bam Hari Nisa, 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 Bam Hari Nisa. Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa. Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa. Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa. Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa. Bam Hari Nisa, 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 Bam Hari Nisa. Bam Hari Nisa, 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 Bam Hari Nisa. Bam Hari Nisa, 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 Bam Hari Nisa. Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa. Bam Hari Nisa, 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 Bam Hari Nisa. Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa. Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa. Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa, Bam Hari Nisa. You can say that anytime you feel that the blessings of the feminine energy, the Dakinis, would be a good thing to have around. Just pretty much all the time at the moment, really. Remember that they love us and they're here to help. For now, we say our 5-line prayer to Yuthok. To the secret union of Buddhas of the 3 times, I pray from my depths of my heart and bones. Bless me through your body, speech, and mind. Grant me the supreme and common siddhis. And we make our dedication. Gewadi Yuthok, Menja Yuthok Jujene, Druachi Kemanupa, Dei Salagopa Shok. By the merit may we quickly achieve the state of Yuthok, the king of medicine, and through this may all beings be placed on this level. And then just to seal the practice, the mantra of interdependence, and we'll say this 3 times. Om Yadama Hitun Chababa Hitun Tishan Tatagato Hayawade Tishan Sayoniroda Evam Bandi Mahashamana Soha. Om Yadama Hitun Chababa Hitun Tishan Tatagato Hayawade Tishan Sayoniroda Evam Bandi Mahashamana Soha. Om Yadama Hitun Chababa Hitun Tishan Tatagato Hayawade Tishan Sayoniroda Evam Bandi Mahashamana Soha. And there we are. Thank you for joining and bringing your lovely energy. I hope that you feel some benefit from the practice. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Could be a crazy woman. More reflections.
Thank you. Very helpful.
Thanks, Karen. Thank you, Karen.
I was really unwell when you did it a while ago. My daughter had got an injury, but I was very unwell. And this is the second time I've done it with you since I was very unwell. But the first time I did it when I was very unwell, I became very well. I hadn't been sleeping. I was worried, sick all the time about her. And as soon as I did this practice, that very night, I slept so well, and I hadn't worried about her since. So it's been amazing. Thank you.
That's a really wonderful outcome. That's not me. I'm just the traffic person.
Yeah, you're an amazing traffic person. Thank you.
You're very kind.
Don't put up a stoplight.
Thank you, Bella. I'll put on my glasses so I can read all these. Thanks, Teddy.
Thank you so much. It was amazing. The sensation of bliss, happiness, and heat is amazing. I love it.
That's good. That is the game. So, Alexi, I'll send you a link in the next, you'll all get it, to the recording. And you can just follow along that whenever you like. And all the sessions, all the things that are offline also go up on the YouTube channel, so you can go and thank you, Lara. Yes, happy Sakadawa, everybody.
What's the name of the YouTube channel? Sorry?
So you'll get the link when I send you the recording link.
Oh,
It'll take you to the YouTube channel. Yeah. Yeah. Please like it while you're there. I'm trying to build the channel.
Yes. And you said it was this finger that we can tie the little
so the ring
red.
finger. Yeah, and the equivalent toes, yeah? So the toe next to your little toe. I'm not going to put my foot on the screen, yeah? So you just tie it round and both hands, okay, and both toes. So these fingers and the toes are some of the main places where the la leaves the body. So this will protect it. And if you are having bad dreams, this is really, really helpful, because when we have bad dreams, we lose a lot of la, yeah? If your work or life situation is such that it's going to cause you unnecessary conversations, to do your hands, just do your toes. It's better than nothing. And, wear or carry a piece of turquoise. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's such a blessing to have the Dharma in our lives. I'm so happy.
We're very lucky, aren't we? And very lucky to have wonderful teachers who give us these practices to do. Yeah. I have great confidence.
And bless all the lineage of Dakini and Kandroma holders. We wouldn't have Buddhism if it weren't for the Dakinis, for Yeshe Sogyal and many others.
Exactly.
Karen, can I please ask?
Of course, yes, Vanna.
Hello, I'm Vanna from Greece.
Hello.
I missed a part. What did you say about the fingers? I missed it. About what you said
that's
before.
Okay. So we can do a little bit to protect ourselves from losing our la. So if you take a red string,
yeah, I have one.
Yeah, or you can use crochet cotton. This is a blessing cord someone gave me, so I won't cut it. But you wrap it around this finger on both hands, yeah? The ring fingers. Okay. And the same toe. I'm not going to hold my foot up, on the same toes, okay?
Okay.
And particularly helpful if you have bad dreams, because when we have bad dreams, we lose a lot of our la energy. Or as well, you can wear or carry some turquoise, yeah?
Okay.
So you might have a ring or a pendant, or you've got a piece you put in your pocket or in your bra. Bras are useful for crystals.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
No, you're very welcome. Go over the data movements. Yes, of course. So ideally you point it in the direction. Actually, let me just put the lid on my drink so I don't tip it over. So I know me. I'll step back a bit so I've got some room. You point it in the direction you're speaking of. So if it's north, you point it to the north. And then you circle it clockwise, and that's the sweeping up and gathering in. You point up and down, because, we talk about above and below. And then you also, you can't see it, you kind of lift it up like this. And that's a hooking movement. So we're hooking back. It's talked about in the text a lot, hooking back. So it's gathering and scooping, I kind of think to myself, yeah. Now, if we were in a group and in person, And I'm not a lama, so I wouldn't be doing this. But you would also be tapped on the head. Yeah. But that wouldn't be from me. And it's okay to do this yourself if you have one, or you can order them online. Yeah.
What's it called again, Karen?
A datar. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
So you can order them online. I know people have, or if you know someone who's going to Kathmandu, they seem to be easier to get in Kathmandu or Nepal than in India for some reason. So it's a datar or long life arrow. So there's the main part should be bamboo, and it should have a copper tip because copper is a very good conductor. And then it's properly fletched. You can see the feathers. And then the 5 colours, and then, yes, all the bling. It doesn't have to have all the bling, but it should have the Meilong, the mirror.
Thank you, Karen, for going over that. Again, I really appreciate that. And so just to reiterate, you point the feather part towards the direction.
Yes.
And then you
yes. So
wave it, and then you wave it counterclockwise or clockwise.
Yes.
Was it?
So let me point to the east at my place. And so I'm pointing, and then I'm waving clockwise, scooping in. Yep. So like you would do Kora, clockwise, yeah. And then at some point you're pointing up and down where it's talking about above and below. And then also picking up. It's like a scooping up action. Yeah, up and down, which is the hooking part. Sorry, I should be doing it on the screen, hooking like that. So it's around, and then it's an up and down movement. Yeah. That makes sense?
Great. Yes, thank you so much.
I don't think there's the wrong movement if you're doing it with good intention. Yeah. But I'm not big on rules, so I'm probably the wrong person.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It's hard to see at first, but I saw it well.
Yeah, I know. It's a little bit hard to be far enough back and still do all the bits. Yeah. Thank you, Joel. I'll just see if there any messages I've missed. Can I go over the data? We've done that. So you can, Bella, you can get a copy of a sadhana from Sky Press, which I think is just skypress.com. That's the people that publish Dr. Nita's things. This one that we've had on screen is just one that I've put together. I hope you enjoyed the new dakinis. I had a lot of fun getting them together.
Thank you, Karen.
Very beautiful new dakinis.
Yeah, I was excited. They felt powerful. Yes, the same in the Amateus practice, yes. Yeah, the other ones were lovely, but they were someone else's artwork, so I wanted to use something that I created instead.
Thank you so
So
much.
if anyone else, any questions? Hopefully you all feel very rejuvenated and restored, and you'll have a beautiful day and or evening wherever you're at, and continue to feel well over the next few days as the energy comes back. Any questions, you can always email me. End of next week, there is a Medicine Buddha healing session. You're more than welcome to join. But I completely understand if those of you who've been coming to everything are tired of my face this week. So stay well, everybody. And hopefully I'll see you all very soon. Take care.